Hello, welcome to Workshop 13, unlucky for some, which is why we are talking about manifestation today. Now, for me, manifestation is not about sitting and wishing and hoping and writing and just like being in that state that is quite static. It's always about movement for me and trying and experimenting. And I guess this is the more vulnerable version of it because it's easy to dream, to make vision boards, to think, to consider. Once you put yourself in the place and the space of like, right, I'm doing it, off we go. That's when you get to know your chops. That's when you get to know what you're made of, what you're all about, and how this is going to be. I want to give you tools and techniques that you can use now, which is why I've purposely used this word of accelerate. I am really impatient, not with anybody else, not in a post office queue. I can like happily amuse myself, but with my own goals and my dreams, absolutely. And I'm ready. I'm ready to go. So let me just say, if we are meeting for the first time, I'm so delighted that you are here. I've helped hundreds of clients to activate and illuminate their personal brand over the last 25 years, sorry, the last 15 years. And for the last 25 years, I've been activating and illuminating my own. If you've just come across my content and you're not sure who I am, what I'm all about, you can go to my website, nikiraby.com. It's all there. Okay, grab a piece of paper and a pen and let's get manifesting. Number one, it is a process. And often how the story ends isn't revealed. I have noticed this with both of my kids when they have chapter books. I've seen them sneakily like going to the end, like what happens in the end, what goes on. We may know what our desired endpoint might be and what we want it to be, but we don't know how we're going to get there. And so, therefore, being very realistic about the fact that we don't know what's going to happen, we don't know the way in which it's going to come to fruition. Our only job at this point is to get in the flow and be on the path. Be in the commitment, be in the purpose of right, what do I need to do first? And being open to, I guess, like getting in the car. If you are in London and you're trying to get to Scotland, you don't know what roads might be closed along the way, or if something happens, or there's I don't know, something going on. Your only role is to begin the journey. Number two, you have to be open to the next steps right now despite your current situation. So many things I have started in terms of a manifestation that I've written them down and I've thought, who do I think I am writing this as a goal when I am so far away from this goal? It almost feels like I'm the opposite. And that is okay. All you need to do is concentrate on the desire and beginning today. Because what can happen sometimes is people get so fixated on where they are right now, they don't fixate on the change. They don't fixate on how they can move forward. So, whatever is happening right now, don't forget to dream big. Number three, commit to a timeline to study yourself. Work out how you move. So many people will say, right, I want this thing and it's got to show up in 48 hours. And then it doesn't show up in 48 hours. And then they're like, oh, it's not meant to be. Right, okay, fine then. I'll move on to something else. I want you to do the opposite here. I want you to give yourself a time frame. Maybe it's 7 days, maybe it's 30 days, maybe it's 100 days, whatever works for you. Commit to a timeline to study yourself. I want you to zoom out and watch yourself. How do you move? How do you think? Are you being that person who is actually an energetic match for whatever it is that they want? Because if you are saying, I want to be this, this, and this, and this, but you're not doing anything about it, that's going to give you an indication as to why it's not happened. The internet, I always see, is like a kind of Snoop Dogg character, in a big throne with a medallion. He's like, yeah, I heard you. I heard your request, but you haven't done anything. You haven't stepped forward. Where are you? What are you doing? That analogy always makes me laugh and it always snaps me into action. Number 4, you have to be brave enough to claim it like it is happening. This word of try won't help you, because if I say, I'm going to try not to eat any chocolate today, that is me being open to the fact that I may eat some chocolate, that I'm probably going to like some chocolate, but I'm not going to say it immediately, because if I do, then it's like, oh, she hasn't even tried. If I say I've tried, like if it happens in the end that I end up eating the chocolate, it's like, well, she did try not to, but it just didn't work out that way. Too many people are like this. I'm going to try and do this. I'm going to hope that this will happen. I'll keep my fingers crossed. I want you to be brave enough to claim it and say, I am going to do this. I don't know how it's going to manifest. I don't know how long it's going to take. I don't know how long it's going to happen, but I'm going to be open to all of it. I'm going to work out what is blocking and stopping me, and I'm going to commit to being on the journey. Number 5, it may be a wibbly wobbly process. It might be 2 steps forward and 1 step back. Ask yourself, are you okay with this? Can you put down perfection? Can you trust? Can you be willing to essentially stay in the room? I remember my first hot yoga class, and I remember talking to the teacher, and I was saying, look, this is my first class and I'm not great in heat and I'm very pale and ginger and I'm out of shape and I haven't been to yoga for a while. And she said to me, just see if you can stay in the room. Even if you need to come down to the mat, even if you need to go to child's pose, just see if you can stay in the room. You don't have to do all the yoga. You don't have to do all of the things. Just see if you can stay here. And that has been the most incredible reminder. Staying on the path, staying in the room, being open to all of the parts of you, because they will show up. I think that when people set manifestations, they set goals, they want it to be easy. They want it to be straightforward. They want it to be an equation like A plus B equals C. Ta-da, finished, done. It's not the way that it works often. So you have to be willing to be open to all the ways. Number 6, I want you to spend time with your manifestation. I don't believe that you should just put something on a vision board and never think about it again. I love it, bringing it front and center, being in the mix, being in the room. And I often liken this to my relationship with my kids. I don't just go around saying I'm a really great mum. I make sure that I'm with them, that I'm checking in, that I'm seeing where I'm up to, that I'm having that eye contact. Because I could say I'm a great mum all day long, but if I'm not energetically a great mum, it's pointless. It's just words. I want you to spend time with that manifestation. Book some time in, have a diary date, whatever floats your boat, but do it. It will really pay off. Number 7, try on and ask questions. Put yourself in the room. One of my manifestations is for us to move house. I've got such a dream about what this house will look like. And yet, this house is like quite a different price point to our current house. However, this weekend there was an open artist studio trail around our local area. And a lot of these artists have lived in our area for many, many years, and they live in the most beautiful houses. And I love going and looking at art and seeing creators and ceramicists and painters. And it's one of my favorite things to do. And it was such an amazing opportunity to be in this manifestation, putting myself in the room. I got chatting to a woman who had just finished an extension. I asked her how long it took. How did you get it? Did you find good builders? All of these things. Because in my head, I was thinking maybe we'll do that one day. She told me about the house, the history of the house, how she converted 3 flats into one house again, how the guy previously had lived there for 92 years. She told me all these things. Put yourself in the room and try on and ask questions. Number 8, notice your body. When you are taking your manifestation out into the world and you're putting yourself in these places and spaces, notice what your body is doing. So often we've been conditioned to just nod and smile and go along with what anybody else might say because, that's the kind thing to do. That's the accommodating, generous thing to do with your manifestations. Please do not do that. Be open to noticing when your body goes, yes, 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 this is great. Yes, this. Oh my goodness, I would love this. Notice when you get that really sparkly reaction. Equally, notice those moments where your body goes, oh no, no, oh, I wouldn't like that. No, thank you. Capture the feelings and articulate them. Because once you know what it is that you're doing and you're refining that process, you're much more likely to get there quicker. Number 9, load the evidence every single day. Now, I have a dream for a dream kitchen. However, my kitchen currently, it's not my dream kitchen, but I have set aside a cupboard in our TV unit. Again, it's highly impractical, but it just had loads of other stuff. So I've moved it out. It's a clear cupboard. And there are things that I am putting in there. I've got a beautiful Le Creuset teapot. I keep my lovely Le Creuset roasting tin in there. I've got some great cocktail glasses that I don't just want to put in the random cupboard, because ultimately I know I will have a dresser one day where I can keep this crockery, where I've got a big table where I can do all of these things. And there's something about going to that cupboard, taking things out, carefully using them, putting them back. That for me is part of the manifestation. And I will look back on that moment. Number 10, being the person who is in support of the vision. Are you saying what you want and then going, well, it's probably not going to happen. I'm probably not that kind of person. Are you skirting around the issue and never getting to the heart of it? I want you to notice how you speak, how you spend your time, and what you believe. Because the likelihood is, whatever it is that you want, somebody will have done it. Somebody will have figured it out. You can learn from somebody else. I would love you to think about what action you're going to take today. And if I can help you further, do book a strategy session, nikkiraby.com/sessions. Or equally, if you're ready to go deeper and wider and broader into the vision, check out my brand new course, Activating and Illuminating Your Next Chapter. It's 5 workshops. If you add magic at checkout, you can save 20%. Go to nikkiraby.com/activate. If you want to find out more about working together one-on-one, feel free to visit my contact page, nikkiraby.com/content. Drop me a message. I'll come straight back to you and we can book in a time to speak. If you're not subscribed to the playlist, feel free to do so. I drop daily workshops every single morning and I would love you to get involved. That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, for listening. Now go and do something. Lots of love. See you later. Bye.